I want it said of me by those who knew me best, that I always plucked a thistle and planted a flower where I thought a flower would grow. Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. Be with a leader when he is right, stay with him when he is still right, but leave him when he is wrong. You can tell the greatness of a man by what makes him angry. You cannot help people permanently by doing for them what they could and should do for themselves. When I'm getting ready to reason with a man, I spend 1/3 of my time thinking about myself and what I am going to say, and 2/3 thinking about him and what he is going to say. You can't make a weak man strong by making a strong man weak. My concern is not whether God is on our side, my greatest concern is to be on God's side, for God is always right. Public sentiment is everything. With public sentiment, nothing can fail, without it nothing can succeed. America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves. I happen temporarily to occupy this big White House. I am living witness that any one of your children may look to come here as my father's child has. A house divided against itself cannot stand. I believe this government cannot endure, permanently half slave and half free. I do not expect the Union to be dissolved, I do not expect the house to fall, but I do expect it will cease to be divided. It will become all one thing or all the other. I desire to so conduct the affairs of the administration that if, at the end, when I come to lay down the reins of power, I have lost every other friend on earth, I shall have at least one friend left, and that friend shall be down inside of me. The legitimate object of government is to do for the people what needs to be done, but which they cannot, by individual effort, for it all, or do so well, for themselves. Elections belong to the people. It's their decision. If they decide to turn their back on the fire and burn their behinds, then they will just have to sit on their blisters. Education does not mean teaching people what they do not know. It means teaching them to behave as they do not behave. My mind is like a piece of steel, very hard to scratch anything on it and almost impossible after you get it there to rub it out. A capacity, and taste, for reading, gives access to whatever has already been discovered by others. My great concern is not whether you have failed, but whether you are content with your failure. I am a firm believer in the people. If given the truth, they can be depended upon to meet any national crisis. The great point is to bring them the real facts, and beer.